Ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, welcome back to Mike's Diabetes World. Still holding my IV. Don't know, haven't ever come to take it away yet. Now, let's just do what we say we're going to do all the time. Current blood sugar is sitting at 7.850 of active insulin left, all within green, except for just before lunch. Time and range, 70%. I just met the threshold. 27% above, 3% below, and 79. Yesterday, I did not have a severe low. Yay, great for me. Now, today I want to talk to you about having diabetes in the teen years and what my life was like. So, sit back, relax, and we'll be right back. As I have stated a few times in these videos, I got type 1 diabetes when I was 13 years old. Actually, I guess it was 13 and a half. My half birthday is October 9th, and I got diagnosed October 7th. Grade 8 year, pure and simple. And, you come out of the hospital, a scene I replayed a number of times in my teenage years, unfortunately. Oh, yes, I'm going to be the best diabetic I could be. Didn't last long. The worst thing for me was when something didn't work out the way it was supposed to be. I can remember, I think it was my friend's 14th birthday. Yeah. I had gone to the birthday party with him. It was a sleepover, and we had cold cereal. I don't know if I forgot to give insulin, but I ended up being sicker than a dog. That was my downfall. I was heading into DKA. I didn't know it again. I got sick. I vomited. And the worst thing was I took a whole bunch of insulin and it straightened itself all out by morning. And I thought, see, I can do it this way. I don't need what the doctor said. You know what? That's probably the worst thing that ever happened. Oh, God. You start picking up tricks that aren't the best. I ended up, was back in the hospital after 1 year of my out time. It was spring break, and I started to have low blood sugars all the time. It wasn't necessarily my reason for it. Oh, insulin. I was doing my pack and forgot to put it back in. So we'll do that in a moment. But teenage years are difficult. You're dealing with growth spurts, you're dealing with um, insulin shots. I don't know how many times I had to show them how I give an insulin shot. I went to diabetic camp, and there we had to show how do we give insulin shots. I was really getting sick of it. There was even a doctor's visit. And guess what I had to do? I had to give an insulin shot. Oh my God. I got yelled at by my doctor. I was on this spurt of doing urine tests, and I was trying to follow the key. I was going to be the best that I could be. And I was keeping track of my urine, and I lost my urine book, so I started writing on other sheets. And I took all together, I found them all together, and I had an appointment with my doctor coming up. I typed them all up. I had a brand new electric typewriter. I was typing it up, and he kind of looked at it and said, "This is garbage. This can't be right. You can't just write down numbers." And after that doctor's appointment, I refused to go see any doctor. I was till, I guess I was 60, and I started new school, and I had a school doctor, and I also got put in touch with a pediatrician for my diabetes. This was the first time I had really started to have some structure. But, I was still a rebel. Did I ever play games? Well, I can remember I stubbed my toe, big deal. And it was rugby practice, it was pouring down with rain, I really didn't want to go do it. So after lunch, I went and saw the nurse, and she said, "Oh no, you have to, we have to drain that." So what happens is they drill through my nail and drain the blood that had gathered there. I know, pretty dark sensation. Anyway, I could get out for once. I got out for a week, week and a half. I didn't have to take care of my sports. I kind of missed it though. You know, what the school taught me is how to live up to my responsibilities. For about 4 years after I left that school, working nights, sleeping days, having different food intake, I wasn't eating properly. My teen years and my early adult years were horrendous. I don't know why I could get through this thick skull. I would end up in the hospital. I would come out, and as I said earlier, oh, I'm going to be the best diabetic I can be. I wasn't the best diabetic. Nope. But I think thinking back on those years now and why it took me so long to learn, I've mentioned this before in a couple of videos prior ago, is I was there doing it for everyone else. I wasn't doing it for me. I didn't know how much better I could feel. I would drag on, tell you the truth. I don't know why I was never fired from my job. Because I would go there and do lackluster work. And my life, I really turned it around, and I said, I can't do nights anymore. I did my time, but I said I couldn't do nights anymore. I got into training, so that was a bit better. So, all in all, I turned around my life for me. Does that mean my blood sugars are perfect all the time and we're having a wonderful time all the time? Hell no. Even when you try to get your blood sugars perfect, they can end up not being that way. You need to do the best you can. And if something happens, fine, it happens, and we deal with it. But don't add to the added stress of playing around, not following your diet, not doing what you're not supposed to be doing. And oh God, I was a moron. I had good times, but I didn't acquaint that I was always out there to please someone else. It was never for me. And I think, and I've mentioned this already in my since coming back, is do it for yourself. And you have to find your sons or your daughters some trick in order for them to learn how to do it for themselves. Pure and simple. Do I look better like this? Or like this? I think I look better this way. But, okay. Now, what do you do with your child? Well, every child's different. I thought, oh, I was going to do this perfectly. And everybody would root me on at the beginning. And then when it stopped, when people stopped congratulating me, was when I kind of like fell into my old habits. And my old habits always ended up letting me down, and I'd end up back in the hospital. There were times I ended up back in the hospital for reasons I still don't know this day. That was probably my brittle diabetes sticking its head out. But, soon I got into a rhythm. And I think, again, partly because I was doing it for me, and partly because I'd learned out of maturity that I could do it. And it took a while, but this blockhead here finally took the diabetes from being here every 5 minutes, where it's always in the way, getting in the way of your everyday life, to where it's here. Yes, I know I'm a diabetic, but it's not prevalent. I don't worry about it a lot of times with the help of the pump. It takes care of things for me. So, all pretty good. So, do it for you. If you have a son or daughter, find out what's important to them and teach them how tight control will help them succeed. And with that, we're going to call it a day. Have a great day. And I'll be back with what the next video will be. Just one sec. Hi, our next topic tomorrow will be discussing why it's important in keeping up care. And I'll discuss how I do it and what's my way of keeping it up. Little tricks I've learned that are positive ways. Because right now, I don't play games. I've learned and I don't do it. So stay tuned for that. Have a great day and we'll talk later. Bye. My email address is mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com. All one line. Drop me